Alright, let's learn how to draw box and whisker plot. So box and whisker plot, let's define it first. What does that mean? Alright, so here it is. Box and whisker plot divides a set of data into 4 parts using the median and the quartiles. A box is drawn around the quartile values and the whiskers extend from each quartile to the extreme data points. Alright, so I assume that this won't be that easy to comprehend without an example. So we will be doing an example now so we can understand all the contents here. So the values that we need to find are the median and the quartiles, and the whiskers will be the least and the greatest value that are not beyond our that are not outliers. And then therefore you need to learn how to do interquartile range and outliers, which is one of the topics I discussed, and there's a video I uploaded to that. So please make sure that you were able to comprehend that before this topic, before you do this. Okay, let's go and answer this. Here are the steps that I made. I actually wrote it here, and it's simple. The first step that we need to do is to identify the greatest and the least data. Right, so step number 1, let's identify the greatest and the least data. The greatest data here is 13 in the, so let's write greatest. Okay, greatest data is actually 580, greatest value, and our least value is 13. Alright, so what's the importance of this? This is what we will use for the next step, which is we need to make a number line. Right, so number 2, you need to make a number line and make sure there's space on top, because that's where we are going to draw our box and whisker plot. Okay, so let's try to make it straight. Alright, so as you can see, the difference of 13 and 580 is quite far. So I'll be using intervals of 50. So this will be 0. Alright, this will be 0. And then next to it would be 50. Alright, so as you can see, I draw the number line. It started with 0, and the spaces is 50, the interval is 50. It should be, the spaces should be approximately equal to each other. This one is not that perfect. The others are quite little than the others, but most probably we need to make it approximately equal to each other. So your number line should cover the least value to its greatest value. So 0 to 600 covers it. Next step would be, step number 3 is to arrange the data from least to greatest. So it will be, let's rearrange the data. Okay, so we have our least number is actually 13. Alright, so it's 13, 28, 31, and then we have 40, 100, and then we have 112, then we have 127, and then next we have 130, 187, right, so 192, and then we have 228, and then 301 and 580. So if you want to check if you covered all the numbers, we could look back and check them. So 13 is done, 28, 31, 40, 100, 112, 127, 130, and then 187, 192, 228, 301, and 580. So we covered all the numbers. The next step is similar to the ones we did. Actually, this is really the same as finding interquartile and outliers. So next is to identify the median. We will identify the median of the data. So the median, in all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 data. Go back to the even number, 12 divided by 2, that's 6. And then plus 1 because it's 13, 7. So therefore, the 7th data is our median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is 127. So you can check, you can look back and check whether this median is actually correct. Alright, so this is our median. After finding the median, we will now find the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So we need to cut this into 2 halves. This and then this one. This will be our lower half. Lower half. And then the other one is our upper half. Then you have to identify the median of our lower half, and that would be your lower quartile. So this is 31 and 40. We have 2 middle numbers. So you have 31 plus 40. Divide by 2. And therefore, that is equal to 35.5. That is your lower quartile. So this is our lower quartile. And then the middle numbers here are 192 plus 228. And then make sure to divide it by 2. Therefore, this is equal to 210. And this is our upper quartile. Right, let's go to, we're done with step number 5. Okay, identify the lower and the upper quartile. Next is find the interquartile range. So therefore, our interquartile range, this is step 6 actually, so we skipped some of it. We did it here. So interquartile range, would be the difference of your upper quartile and then your lower quartile. That is 210 minus 35.5, which gives us the difference of 174.5. This is our interquartile range. The last step is to find your outliers. For you to find the outliers, remember you need to do the limits. Okay, so for us to find the limits, okay, limits first before the outliers. So the limits would be multiply your interquartile range, which is 174.5, times 1.5, which is the constant value. 174.5 times 1.5 would actually give us the product of 261.75. Okay? And then what we do, we will subtract this from our lower quartile and add it to our upper quartile. So our lower quartile is 35.5 minus 261.5. Alright, and that would give us the difference of negative 226.25. And it's already clear that we don't have a lower extreme number because that's negative, and then the other one is just positive 13. Then we have 210, add the limit to our upper quartile. Alright, so our upper quartile is actually 210 plus 261.75, and you'd get the sum of 470. Oh wait, this shouldn't be 210. Oh yeah, it should be 210. Sorry. Then it would be 471.75. So by that, we can be able to find our outlier if there is. Sometimes there's none. So our outlier, let's check. There's no negative value, so therefore there's no lower extreme. What about the lower extreme number? 471.75. Okay, as you can see, there's a value which is more than our limit. So our 580. Okay, so our outlier is 580. Now the question is, how do we draw the box and whisker plot in our number line? Right, so this is how we do it. Okay, so we will now draw the 8th step that I forgot to write. okay, is draw the whisker, the box and whisker plot. Draw now. Draw the box and whisker plot. Okay, there's a dash. How do we draw the box and whisker plot? First is you identify your lowest value. Okay, identify your lowest value. Okay, let's use this. This is our lowest value, right? 13. So 13 is somewhere, the half is 25, so it's somewhere here. Okay, so this is your lowest value. Next, after identifying your lowest data, you will now go and check your lower quartile. Okay, so this is the lowest data. Let's go to the lower quartile. The lower quartile is 35.5 and it's somewhere here. Alright, so 35.5. Then you identify the median, 127. So it's somewhere here. 127. And then you get your upper quartile, 210. So 210 is somewhere here. Actually, the box will just compose of your lower quartile, median, and your upper quartile. So if you already have that, then you draw it already. The box. This is the box. Okay. The first line will be your lower quartile. The next line will be your median. Next to it would be your upper quartile. And then make that as a box. Right, so we already have the box. Now about the whisker. We're not yet done. We will continue. This is the lower value, right? The lowest number. Okay, it does not go beyond our limit. This is our lowest. This is the first whisker. The next whisker to the right would be your value, your greatest value that is not beyond your limit. So that's 301. So 301 is somewhat here approximately. So 301 is here. Okay, so this is 301. So this is our box and whisker. And then if there is an outlier like 580, you also have to plot that. So it's somewhere here, but it is not included in our box and whisker already. This is the outlier. Okay? So that's how we do the box and whisker plot. This is how we draw it.